On completion of 3 years of PM GatiShakti National Master Plan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the scheme has emerged as a transformative initiative aimed at revolutionizing India's infrastructure. In a post on social media platform X, PM Modi said, and I quote, PM GatiShakti National Master Plan has emerged as a transformative initiative aimed at revolutionizing India's infrastructure. It has significantly enhanced multi-modal connectivity, driving faster and more efficient development across sectors. The seamless integration of various stakeholders has led to boosting logistics, reducing delays and creating new opportunities for several people, unquote. All right, and to discuss more on this, I've been joined by Professor Dr. Manoj Chaudhary, is Vice Chancellor, GatiShakti Vishwavidyalaya. Sir, first of all, a very warm welcome to the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir. Very good afternoon. PM GatiShakti National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity has completed 3 years. PM Modi also hailed it. Let me begin with some of its achievements in various sectors. Department of School Education and Literacy used the NMP portal to link PM Shri schools with the local industries for district-specific skill training. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare identified internet shadow areas and mapped sites for new healthcare facilities using NMP. Also, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship utilized NMP to identify suitable locations for new training institutes near economic clusters. These are some of the achievements. How do you see this and what's your analysis, sir?
Yeah, I'm very happy that today we have completed 3 years of PM GatiShakti National Master Plan. As you also highlighted, that PM GatiShakti National Master Plan is not merely for the infrastructure sector. Of course, the 8 infrastructure ministries like railways or roads and highways, ports and shipping, aviation, everybody is taking advantage of it. But it has also successfully now being used into various social sector ministries such as healthcare, such as education sector, such as looking at the gap analyzer tool for analyzing new skills as India aspires to be Viksit Bharat. As we look for various economic corridors, we look for GatiShakti cargo terminals. We try to modernize India in a very planned and technology-enabled manner. And that is where GatiShakti National Master Plan has been tremendously useful. If you merely look at the data within the last 3 years, more than 200 projects worth 15.39 lakh crore have been evaluated through it. We look at the transformation that is happening in the railways, the speed at which national highways are getting constructed, the rapid progress in the aviation sector that we see, or the upcoming ports modernization, whether it is happening, or the upcoming Vadhavan port that we see. Every single sector in the infrastructure sector today is leveraging the PM GatiShakti National Master Plan. This is an important tool based on GIS Imaging. Latest technological advancements such as artificial intelligence.
Sir, what did you just mention? The imaging, GIS imaging?
Yeah, it is geospatial data.
Yeah.
Right? Satellite-based imaging that is being used for mapping entire data.
Can you explain it a bit and its advantages a little bit for our viewers?
So it is something like this, that if we have to, for example, plan a new rail line, then using geospatial data, we can easily see whether the new line is passing through environmental or forest land, or a new realignment of the rail line has to be done. Similarly, the case of highways. Similarly, we can also look at, if we have to plan, for example, a new school in a district, we can look at the nearby schools that are currently there. We can look at the population data that is currently being unserved. And therefore, as you also highlighted in the news, that district level master plans on how this GatiShakti tool can be used for district level master plan preparation, whether for education sector or roads or so on. As we know, in India, roads are not only built by national highway authorities, the national highways are also built by PWDs, they are also built by village panchayats. And therefore, the usage of this technology-enabled tool lies not only at the top level, but the very grassroots level that our Honorable Prime Minister always mentions, that the technology must be such that it must be accessible and available to every common citizen of India. And that is how and why Honorable PM today described PM GatiShakti tool as a transformative initiative to transform the entire India and its infrastructure.
Definitely, sir. In the beginning of the conversation, you just mentioned that it's not just limited to infrastructure. It has also its advantages in the healthcare sector. Can you highlight it for us a bit?
Yeah, for example, if we have to plan healthcare facilities in the remote villages, right, then we can look at the nearby surroundings. As I mentioned, the kind of specialized hospitals and their distances that are available, the kind of population that we need, and if there are specifics that can be available for a particular region affected by specific diseases, we can have those kind of specializations built into specific hospitals in the regional areas. And therefore, healthcare sector or any sector worth in social sector, for example, technology, or in terms of planning the new skills. If, for example, we are having a particular manufacturing operations in a particular area, for example, semiconductor manufacturing is happening, and we know 4 of the units are in Gujarat, 1 is in Assam. Now, how do we prepare skills which for that specific sector? Possibly many of the jobs also are highly technical jobs. There are many jobs that can require local, specialized, regional training, and we can plan training centers based upon that. And that is one area where Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has prepared gap analyzer tools for developing skills. Another area that I can easily talk about, as we know, in India currently, 5G deployment is one of the fastest in the world. However, we should remember that our 5G deployment currently is around 13 crore people, while the entire mobile users currently may be 120 crore. So around 10% is the 5G deployment. But if you look at how the towers have been planned, where they are getting planned, everything is utilizing PM GatiShakti tool for its planning. So this tool is not merely the data. It provides a very useful insight to the decision makers. It allows the people to prepare detailed project reports. It allows people not only prepare reports, but to have an effective monitoring and implementation, so that cost overruns and the schedule delays that were the norms that were happening earlier with all of the infrastructure projects actually can be minimized. As you know, this is one of the biggest highlights, that our infrastructure projects, if they can get completed in time, it saves a lot of taxpayers' money, and also available the services to the people at an earlier time compared to if there is a delay in the projects.
Okay, since you just mentioned infrastructure, sir, I want to ask you that how does PM GatiShakti, NMP, it address sustainability and environmental concerns when it comes to infrastructure development?
So it can be like, for example, in terms of moving to sustainability, using PM GatiShakti tool, currently the railway has electrified more than 99% of its lines. Currently, Indian Railways is moving towards introducing green hydrogen-based train. Currently, in Indian Railways, we are looking at specific economic corridors for energy, minerals, and cement. We are looking at Rail Sagar Pariyojana for connecting the specific locations which are related to the specific economic needs. When we do that, we actually prevent long and arduous routes being taken. Therefore, optimized route planning helps us in saving fuel. It helps us in becoming more energy efficient. That is one another step towards energy sustainability. As we all know, that India is the first country to commit to the net zero target. And India is strongly moving forward. For example, another instance I will give you, how do we plan and prepare the renewable energy segment, where a lot of wind energy will be there, where a lot of solar energy will be there. So much of this actually is today getting planned using PM GatiShakti tool. And that is where contribution to various sectors, whether they be telecom, they be power in terms of petroleum and natural gas, or railways, or aviation, or highways, or social sectors that I mentioned, this tool, actually the PM GatiShakti tool has been a transformative tool. And I must also add that today, at GatiShakti Vishwavidyalaya, which is India's only university in the transportation and logistics sector, we have already prepared 15 hours of course material with specific modules on various aspects of GatiShakti in terms of how data management system work, how it is integrated with cloud, how artificial intelligence will be leveraged to do area development, to do infrastructure sector, to do social sector. And this, now we are launching this program for the entire 50,000 civil services officers in whole of India, and therefore transforming India.
Definitely, wonderfully explained, sir. Our viewers got to know a lot about this initiative and how this initiative is helping in various sectors and not just limited to infrastructure but also connectivity and healthcare. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having conversation with you on the broadcast, sir.